we're going to take a quick look around the Moody DS41. I have an infinite love for Moody's because they were the yacht I grew up with as a child. Our family had one. Obviously not a DS like this, and I know they're quite controversial. We're going to start off at the transom. Obviously you can see you have a rear drop down transom, swimming ladder underneath. We'll see if we can have a look at that, but it'll be the hands stainless steel well run ladder. One thing I quite like is the storage that you get. You can't really call it a dinghy garage, but it's a nice storage area, big enough for compressors, maybe a paddleboard and bits and pieces. And we go further forward, you have direct access to your steering quadrants, which is really handy. And if your transom is up, you have a very handy hatch just in the middle here for your emergency steering, and obviously get access into that rear locker. Once again, fabulous bathing ladder. Ones like this are much better instead of just the round poles or a bit of wood, because you have a large enough surface area for your feet, which I know some of you won't understand, but it actually makes it a lot more comfortable getting in and out of the water. Whilst you're underway, obviously you have security to go across either side, and it's really nice for the Moody's. You have solid stainless steel rails by both helm seats, just to make it more secure around on the boat. There's enough room for two on these seats, obviously give you somewhere nice to sit back. The deck saloon, some people are saying it's a cross between a catamaran and a monohull. Basically a deck saloon, so from cockpit going through to your living area, you have one level living, so a bit like the catamaran. Obviously with sliding doors, it gives you that larger opening space feeling. We'll get all into that when we get into the downstairs. We'll start with the helms. I'm going to start with the starboard helm. Obviously Jeffer steering, which is nice, all on pedestals. Electronic throttle controls. You have autopilot, chart plotter, it's your Yamaha for your engine, and obviously bow thruster. Engine start stop on the end. I would say there was one thing missing from this pedestal, is a grab handle, but because you have the hard top right here, you've got something to grab onto, and you have a pretty nice view from the helm and obviously through the windows. It's a bit harder to see today, we're getting reflection from the light. Pop-up cleats. Obviously Moody have changed a lot since they became a part of, or brought out by, the Hands group. Things are pretty well situated at the helm. You have your freshwater hot and cold shower here. Diesel tank fill is right here. I know you guys seen them before. Yachting World did a fabulous test sale of the DS, I think it was the 51 or 54. On the side of this pedestal you have your electric winch controls. These are Luma 45 self-tailing winches, and you have a nice bank of clutches here. Once again, all your sheets come aft through the deck, keeping them cluttered, and you have a tail bin here. One thing that's nice, they've lowered the deck, you'll see how that works out on the inside, but you have huge coamings, or tow rails if you want to call them that, either side. Very safe for the kids. There is a boarding ladder, so you can have access both port and starboard. Selden Genoa tracks. They're a little bit small. I suppose you could work them for a small Jenica or a Yankee. There's plenty of room to walk forward, nice and safe, and obviously you have a solid stainless steel rail either side. Inboard, outboard shrouds, keeping that movement fluid as you go forward. And once again, here you can see for like your main halyards, reefing lines and so on, actually how they go through under the deck and run along the side. If there's ever a snagging problem, you see here, you can take the side panel off and access if there's ever an issue. Bang, boom. I should imagine as an option these can come with infurling mast. I don't know why you would bother. Slab reefing is probably, you know, best. Self-tacking jib coming all the way forward. You have your stainless steel double barrel roller and quick electric winch. Pop-up cleats, I don't know if you've seen these before, but they just go down into the deck nice and flush for when you're underway. You're not having to worry about anything snag on them. Open up to your forward locker. So you have a crash bulkhead here, and then just forward and underneath you can see you've got an opening hatch there. Your chain locker is forward, and there's a hatch to get to other services. Have your remote for the windlass, and normally there is a freshwater cleaning system on here somewhere, or a saltwater pump. You just need to clean off your anchor and chain a little bit. There's no need for a dolphin seat forward because you have a lovely seat here. Really nice space for sundowners. Furlex furling system for Genoa, well, jib as it's self-tacking, and I'll give you that look. Bow to stern, 41 foot. She's actually a very big boat and a big crossover to a different style of onboard living, I suppose. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's been big discussions online over the DS line. I quite like them. It all depends on what sort of sailing you're going to do. Quickly go down the port side. One thing that is quite nice with these, because you have such a large hardtop, there's a lot of real estate up here for solar panels. You have great grab handles that run all the way aft. So security, if you're a family and you've got young kids and you want to cruise around, this is a very secure and safe boat. Back to the port helm, once again, everything runs through. You have storage on the deck. You've got your bank of clutches. Once again, another winch. Half the thing with the deck saloons is ease of handling. So here, going down into the cockpit, you have your emergency tiller access and your central cockpit table. One of the nice benefits of this hardtop, a lot of the manufacturers saw what Moody or Hands as the shipyard have done and they copy. So you have this central area that comes back to let as much light in here as possible. Or if you're underway, I should imagine this is a really nice, deep, sheltered area to do your passage on. One of the benefits of having a deck saloon, raised saloon forward, and all your bits there, is the amount of storage on this size of boat you gain here. So you have air conditioning module in here. You have all this storage for toys, other bits and pieces, whack in a water maker, or underneath if you need to. Absolutely huge locker in there. You could get 5 dead bodies at least. Lock that off, and then we'll come over and have a look at the port side. As you can see, there's an extra ladder there. This one's a little bit more open, and you have access, I'm not going to move their boxes, to some of your electric services, and give you an idea of how big these lockers are. Another 5 dead bodies. You know, plenty of storage. You could fit a lot of toys. That's why I say, as a family cruiser, you know, if you spend 3 to 6 months on your boat going around certain places, this is absolutely perfect. In the cockpit, once again keeping that weight central, and for when you're underway, which is really, really good, you have your Yanmar engine direct to your sail drive, so it's really easy to get in and around your mechanical space for servicing, and then, you know, water, fuel scrubbers, so on. Plenty of soundproofing. There is access down below, as you can see here, to get to obviously your through holes and so on. But very, very good, easy access for your mechanical space. The sliding door, we'll see if it's not locked off. So as you can see, you can fully close the area up, shut the door, and if you want the door that's locked off underway, you actually have some handy washboards you can put here to stop any water going in. And it's a seamless walk-through into your saloon. So it's a raised saloon area, and I'll give you a look. It's a lot larger than you think it is for a 41-foot boat. It's horses for courses. I like it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Please like and subscribe. So you have a large, on starboard side, a large U-shape seating area with a table that you can collapse down and turn this into a really nice big double day bed if you wish. These owners have gone for a pop-up television and computer screen there, so entertainment or home office. And obviously you have all these lovely sunshade blinds that come down, but the view when sailing, you're sat in your deck saloon and it's, you know, miserable weather outside, but you're nicely tucked in here out of the weather. And another advantage, obviously being a deck saloon, is all your tanks, diesel, water, all your heavy storage is all central, so keeping the boat nice and balanced. You'll see obvious bits that are carried over from hands, so like your touch lighting switches. There is a stainless steel dual sink, fresh water, hot and cold fresh water, and the usual hands top loading fridge. There's stuff on it, excuse me, stuff on it, top loading with that access down below. 3-burner gimbal stove with oven, but I should imagine that if you use the hard top to put a load of solar on and some diggy davits, you could actually have this as an induction hob. And then plenty of, that's a shame, plastic. There is ample storage in this galley. Down below, obviously, you have gas shut off and access underneath the floor to spares or extra food storage or toys, access to mains electric, and then down to bilges and tanks. Very, very handy area. Port, which is great. Designated nav area, one on watch. Once again, benefits of a deck saloon. You're going to hear me go, I like this boat. It's like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. It'd be nice to see what it's like in a big sea, but you have 360-degree view on everything that is going on in the boat. And if you're worried about your sails, they actually have the blind down because the aircon's on. You can actually see what's going on with your mainsail through these huge skylights, and there's an opening hatch just behind, and obviously you have insect netting up here. So nav desk, VHF underneath. You have your air conditioning controls, bilge pump, which is automatic but obviously manual switch. You have your electric throttle controls here and a repeater on here, and obviously if you want you can have a chart plotter, other bits and pieces on here. This is your autopilot, and some space for mobile phones and other bits and pieces. Not really going to fit many charts in there, but handy little spot. And obviously the hands touch lights with USB charging here. Very handy. Underneath the seat there is bin storage for the galley, and you have these little pockets for, you know, whatever. It's a nice bit of kit. Very nice bit of kit. I'll take you down below. 3 steps down. On port side you have a manual flush toilet, wet heads. Well, I should imagine if you pay for the option you could have a Jabsco electric fresh water if that's what you wanted. It's nice that there's a screen to prevent your sink area and so on getting wet. And just have a look inside. By the looks of it here, I should imagine you can actually have a hinge panel that goes over the seat, so you're not worrying about getting a wet toilet, because nobody likes wiping them down. I'll give you an idea. You know, there's enough room for me to put my arms out and reach to the top. So, you know, there's plenty of room in this head. We'll just come out of here. I'm going to turn you around quickly, and then just to starboard you have a twin berth, which will be fantastic for the kids. Obviously outboard you have more height, and you lose a little bit of height because of the deck saloon, but once again this is a 41-foot boat. Ventilation into the cockpit, once again ventilation up over there, and you have these great seascape port light windows. It's really nice. Reading lights for the kids. I think they've done a nice job, to be perfectly honest. You know, it's a production boat. Material's got the nice soft fill material. You could do with a bit of padding around here, because I should imagine your kids will be banging their heads. But that's, you know, and a large hanging locker. Gives your kids or your friends somewhere to go privately. In this main area in the cabin, there's actually loads of headroom, and there's a lot of room to get dressed, move things about, and so on. Here you have access to your compression post or mast post, and obviously light switches. As we come out of here, just by the companionway is your main switchboard. That's nice and handy. By the lower companionway, by your nav desk, digital, manual switches, electrics. It's all self-explanatory, to be honest. If you want any more information on that, let me know in the comments below, please. And then we'll come forward into the master's suite. So you have a semi-island king-size berth. It's a little bit of an odd shape. So I wouldn't want to be the one making this bed, but it's big enough for 2.5. You have your reading lights there with USB chargers, and up here is where that nice seat was, section forward where you can have your sundowners, and obviously there's a skylight there, large opening hatch and a skylight here, so even in bed, if you wanted to, you can see what's going on with some of your services. There is plenty of storage. Mains plug, little thing for mobile phones and so on, and your touch light controls over there. I do like the port light windows, and obviously they have blinds. Just above is another opening hatch, and the same over on the port side, vanity blinds and another opening hatch here, and once again storage. There is a triple wardrobe on this side, so plenty of space for clothings. But if you're in the tropics or somewhere like that, I don't know how much space you need for your speedos and bikinis. A nice hanging locker, let's see, and a drawer. Excuse for moving you around, guys, but there's a lot of visitors today. It's very, very busy. And a drawer underneath the bed. I think they've done a nice job. I think it's a nice boat. There are a few details on this boat that I like. Just odds and sods that you can see, you know, rails for up and down the companionway. But I'm quite a fan of deck saloons. So I shall sit here quickly. Just a quick one before you go away. If you've lasted this long, you are champions. Thank you for watching the videos through.